Hello, dear students. I'm back with your new poem, Amanda. So, here Amanda is the name of a girl who may be 10 to 12 years old. So, before we go through the poem, every child feels that she or he is controlled and instructed not to do one thing or another. Every one of you feels that someone is nagging at you. Someone is trying to instruct you. Someone is controlling your actions. You too may feel that your freedom is curtailed. Sometimes you all feel that your freedom has been snatched from you. Write down some of the things you want to do, but your parents or elders do not allow you to. So you can list down some activities or some things, some wishes, some desires which you want to do, but your parents or elders do not permit you to do. To read the poem aloud from pairs, each reading alternate stanzas, you are in for a surprise. That is not of much use because we are now in online classes. So here in the poem there are two characters. One is the girl Amanda and another one is most probably her mother. So the first stanza, don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. So there is a person, most probably the mother, who is instructing Amanda some things. In the first line she is saying, Amanda not to bite her nails. In the second line, when most probably Amanda is sitting in a incorrect posture, she has bent down her shoulders. Hunch means to bend. To means she has sitting while bending her shoulders, which is not a correct posture of sitting. So Amanda's mother is instructing her not to sit in that wrong posture. Stop that slouching and sit up straight. Slouching means sitting in a lazily posture. Means if you are lazy, you will lie down or lie down along a table or on a sofa. So that is slouching. So the mother is asking Amanda not to slouch, not to lay lazily and sit up straight. So on hearing these instructions, Amanda imagines there is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. So on hearing these instructions, Amanda wishes that there should be a green colored sea, means the sea is very pure, is in a very beautiful area, and where the sole inhabitant, and Amanda wishes that she should be a resident of that sea, a mermaid. She wished herself to be a mermaid. Drifting blissfully means to move away with the current of the water. So wherever the current takes her, she is free to move. Blissfully is happily, means she wishes that she should be a mermaid in a beautiful green colored sea, and she could lie lazily like a mermaid, and she could move anywhere where the water currents take her, and she should be very happy to live a life like a mermaid. In the next stanza, the mother says, did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. So, mother is asking Amanda whether she has finished her homework or not. In the next room, mother is asking whether the Amanda had cleaned up her room or not. She also asked her that whether she had cleaned her shoes or not. Means these were the instructions which the mother had already given to Amanda, and now she is inquiring whether these tasks which were assigned to Amanda has been accomplished or not. So on hearing these lines, Amanda wishes again, I am an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So the Amanda wishes that she should be an orphan, because an orphan is free to move in a street. No parent is there to instruct him. No parent is there to look after him. So she wishes that she should be an orphan so that there should be no parent who would be instructing her, who would be controlling her actions. And in the above lines, you can see that the mother is teaching, mother wishes to teach that how Amanda should keep her things clean, how Amanda should keep her room and shoes clean. But Amanda wishes that she should be free to move barely in the sand, and she could make patterns on the sand with her feet. Means she likes to be untidy. She likes to move bare feet in the sand. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So here the silence is golden means that if there should be the silence in her house, that if the mother was not there to speak anything, that moment would have been the golden moment of her life, and the freedom. And by this silence means due to the absence of mother, she should be free, and that freedom is sweet because that freedom is the most desired thing to Amanda. In the next stanza, mother nags Amanda by saying, don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? So now mother is worried about Amanda, and she's telling Amanda not to eat much of the chocolates because it would cause pimples. It would cause acne on the face of Amanda. In this way, Amanda's face could get spoiled. She could look ugly. That's why, out of concern, the mother is asking her not to eat many chocolates. And she's also trying to make her into a good girl. That's why she is telling her that to look at me. Mother is asking to look at her when the mother is talking to Amanda. Actually, everyone should look at the person when someone is talking to us. So this is the manner which the mother is trying to teach her, that Amanda should look at her when she is talking to her. After hearing these lines, Amanda wishes, I am Rapunzel. I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and real. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. So dear students, Rapunzel is a character from the fairy tales. Rapunzel was a girl who was imprisoned by a witch into a huge tower, and Rapunzel had very long hair. So Rapunzel had to let down her hair from the tower, and the witch used to climb to the tower using her hair. So she wished that she should be confined into a tower like the Rapunzel was, and there should be tranquil, means there should be peace. Tranquil means peace, calm. So that life would be the peaceful and uncommon one, because there would be no one who could reach up to that tower by himself or herself, because she had decided that like Rapunzel, she would never let down her hair to help someone to climb up the tower. So when she would not let down her hair, she would not provide her hair someone to climb up, then nobody would be able to climb up the tower, and nobody would be able to disturb her or to instruct her. So she wished that she could live life like a Rapunzel. Then in the last stanza, mother says, "Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You are always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda." So in the last stanza, sulking means to be in a bad mood or to be upset. So mother asks Amanda not to look as she is, not to appear as she is upset. Means she was not allowed to look upset or even. You are always so moody, Amanda. The mother says that, why are you so moody? Why can't she be calm and patient? Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. Mother is now saying that if Amanda would look upset, then other persons would think that mother keep on instructing Amanda, and that's why she is very upset. So here the mother did not want that others should judge mother like she is a very dominating person. The mother does not want that her dominating nature would become known to others. That's why she is asking Amanda that she should not look upset, she should not be moody. And here we can observe that Amanda is so much lost in her thoughts due to the sadness in which she is, and now she is not even able to respond to her mother. She is not even able to imagine something else, that what other option she could have to avoid this nagging. So moving forward towards the poetic devices, in the first stanza there are some new words for you, students. The first word was hunch, which means to bend. Then the other word was slouching, that means sitting lazily. Then the next word was languid, which means relaxed. Then there was emerald. Emerald here has come for green color, because emerald is a stone which is of green color. Drifting is carried slowly by the water. Blissfully is happily. So in the first stanza, some poetic devices had been used. The first one is anaphora. Dear students, anaphora is repeated use of a word at start. The word which has been repeated in some lines in a poetry, but the word should be in the beginning of every sentence or every phrase, as there is don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. So don't bite, don't hunch. So the here don't has been used in the initial stage or at the very beginning of the lines. So here don't has anaphora as the poetic device. Then there has been repetition of Amanda in the first stanza. So repetition means the repetition of the word, the word or the name which has been used repeatedly without making much significance or without making any emphasis on the poetry. So the word Amanda uses repetition. Then as we have done alliteration earlier also, so the stop that slouching and sit up straight. In this line, sir sound has been repeated. Stop, slouching, sit straight. So sir sound has been repeated. Therefore, it takes alliteration as the poetic device. Then there is imagery. Imagery means imagery or allusion, where something huge has been imagined. So Amanda has imagined herself as a mermaid, and you also know that mermaid is an imagery character. So it takes imagery or allusion as poetic device. Then there is drifting blissfully. Dear students, you must be aware that the speedy water currents takes away something with it due to in a angry mood, in its angry mood, like when there is tsunami or some huge waves, so the things get drifted away, carried away with the water currents, and that is not very happy moment. But here the drifting is blissful. Here the drifting with water, you're carried away, being carried away with water currents is happy moment or blissful. That's why drifting blissfully is also imagery or allusion. Then there is metaphor. Metaphor means you are not comparing something, but you are definite that that particular thing is in the form of in the imagined form. Is in that imagined form, like emerald sea. You know, emerald is a green color stone. Get me? So here sea is not has been said to having the green color, but it has been said that emerald sea. So the omission of as or like words or having green color, such things has been omitted, and the poet is firmly saying that the sea is emerald. So it has taken metaphor as poetic device. In stanza 2, again anaphora has been used. Anaphora is repeated use of the word at the beginning of sentence. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy up your room, Amanda? So here the did has been used at the beginning of the lines. Therefore it takes anaphora as the poetic device. And as I had told earlier also, repetition in Amanda has been used because Amanda has not been used to make much emphasis on the poem. In the second stanza only, metaphor has been used in the lines silence is golden and freedom is sweet. So silence is golden means silence is said to be glorious, like golden color. So it has not been compared, but it has been assumed that silence is golden. So to mention about the glory of the silence, golden color has been used. And freedom is sweet means freedom is sweet when tasted, but how can we taste the freedom? Because when we live that life full of freedom, that is very the happy moment or the desirable moment of anyone's life, and everyone likes the sweet moments of the life. So that means the sweet moments of the life is freedom. So here freedom is sweet and silence is golden are using metaphor as the poetic device. Then there is imagery or allusion in I am an orphan. The girl Amanda is assuming herself or imagining herself to be an orphan. That's why it takes imagery or allusion as a poetic device. In the third stanza, there is a word tranquil. Tranquil means calm or quiet. And then there is a name, Rapunzel. Rapunzel is a character from fairy tale which was imprisoned in a huge tower by a witch, and the girl had very long hair, and the witch used her hair only to climb up the tower. So in this stanza, repetition has been used in Amanda because Amanda has come several times in that particular stanza without making much emphasis. And I am Rapunzel takes allusion as a poetic device because Rapunzel is an imaginary character. In the fourth stanza, the word sulking means to be in a bad mood, and nagged means to harass someone. So alliteration has been used here. Stop that sulking. Sir sound has been repeated. Therefore, it takes alliteration as poetic device. And again, repetition in the word Amanda is there. So these are the poetic devices which has been used in the poem. Hope you would have understood the poem very well. Thank you.